seventh president, Andrew Jackson. Old Hickory was the seventh president, Andrew Jackson.
Hey guys! Welcome to Chapter 9 of Alan Brinkley's American History, 14th edition.
Jacksonian America!
Not that edition 13 garbage.
None of that. That's in the past.
It's in the past. Chapter
It's
9.
all in the past.
Also talking about the past. Jacksonian America. Shall we? Let's.
Old Hickory. Okay. So, a big fixture of Jacksonian democracy is the expansion in democracy.
Whoop whoop.
We're expanding the right of people to vote. We had so many restrictions on voting rights. Like, even all the white dudes couldn't vote.
All the white dudes.
How dare they?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And so that's what we're doing right now, during this point in time, is expanding democracy. And that was, well, we'll kind of get into the common man version of Jackson.
Yeah, well, also, I see a word here, franchise. I swear, if you ask me what franchise is in the middle of the test, I will be so disappointed. Franchise is, like, people who vote, the electorate.
Yes. Not like McDonald's or
Not
Chili's.
corporations.
Not a corporate franchise.
Not a corporate franchise of chain restaurants. It is, however, people who are able to have a political voice.
Yes.
Therefore, to be disenfranchised means you can't vote anymore.
Franchise is political involvement.
Yes.
Disenfranchisement is not having that.
Yes.
So previous to this point in time, if you didn't own land, if you were black, if you were a woman, you were disenfranchised. Now,
Still got to pay taxes, though.
you still have to pay taxes.
That's crazy, right, people? Don't get me started.
We talk about this.
So broadening the franchise we want. I mean, like, listen, his period is known as the era of the common man. And I don't doubt that. I mean, that it's all about, like, making everybody super excited to be, like, an average, uneducated white male. This is your moment.
This is your time to shine.
Nobody else is yet, okay? We're coming up later on
Just
other people.
those people.
Just those guys.
Yeah.
So, expanding democracy and broadening the franchise. But can we talk about the Dorr Rebellion real quick?
Yeah. So precursor to the Dorr Rebellion, this broadening the franchise, it was not a national movement. It was just state by state. And really, when we're giving people the right to vote, it's to get more representation in Congress. Plain and simple. Because it's based on population.
Right. And so states that are out west are going to start offering, like, all the voting goodies. Like, come on out. You get stickers. You get bumper stickers. You get yard signs.
You get a car.
You get a T-shirt. You get so many things if you move out west. So even the ladies can vote eventually out there.
Montana?
Progressive Montana. And basically because people keep leaving in such big numbers to the western states, the eastern states were like, no, come back. And some do.
Just like that.
That's what they sounded like.
It sounded exactly like that. Voice of the people.
So in 1840 in Rhode Island, guess what happened?
The Dorr Rebellion.
Stop it, Thomas Dorr.
So
Thomas, I adore you. Get it? Get it?
That was a good one. Wow. Okay. Moving right into the actual meat of the conversation. So this is a crazy thing.
Crazy.
So all these states, well, not all these states, some states were giving all, like, tax-paying men the right to vote, and not Rhode Island. And so this guy, Dorr, a lawyer, well-respected, he just decides that he's going to rise up and petition the Rhode Island government, which they have the same charter that they've had since Rhode Island started. Like,
a long time ago.
Like Providence. So, we want to change that. We want to just expand that. And the people in charge of Rhode Island are like, no.
No thanks.
And so what Dorr does is start a new government in Rhode Island.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know what? This is America. We the people. So we the people gonna vote on a new constitution. And they did.
And they did. They made a new constitution.
It was crazy.
And they're like, look here, Rhode Island, we made a new constitution. And Rhode Island was like, okay, great. Like,
no
we're
thanks.
still in charge.
Because that's going to put us out of business, like, that have been sitting here in government on Rhode Island for, like, I think at this point, 150 years. Like, they're 150 years old, guys. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's really awful. So, Dorr's like, whatever, don't accept it. We're still going to have a new government. And that's crazy, people. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, Yeah, amazing, crazy,
Crazy, amazing.
So, I mean, the Door Rebellion ultimately failed,
Wah,
but
wah.
the constitution that they created on their own is going to eventually become absorbed by the Rhode Island government.
They have to change.
Not until after Door goes to jail.
Right.
Because, like...
For like a hot second. A hot second.
But, so, like, that's nuts. So that's just an example of, like, people, like, this whole broadening franchise thing is really catching on.
Yeah. I mean, the only big, major, kind of almost nationwide democratic reform, although it is done by states, is that electors were originally chosen by legislatures, so the elite electing the elite, and by 1828, it's the people voting on those guys, except for, who is it?
Freaking South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Every time.
This whole chapter is about South Carolina, basically, all right?
Essentially, yeah.
It really is.
It's not about South Carolina, but it is.
It's about South Carolina, though.
And also, wait, here's a fun statistic. 1824, 27% of the population, or the male population, white male population, voted. 1840, 80% of the white male population.
I gotta give it to them, though. At least that's you. If you want to know what the people want, then you gotta let the people vote.
Amen, sister.
Whatever way it goes, your way or not, let the people vote. All right. So this guy, Tocqueville, it's Alexis de Tocqueville. He's a Frenchie, and he's walking around the woods in America. Probably not actually in the woods, because he sees a lot of Americans, so he must
probably not.
He must be in the urban environment. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, democracy's amazing."
It's so cool. He's just notes in his this little pamphlet book, what have you, Democracy in America, that we don't have the typical aristocracy.
Yeah.
And so anybody can fall and rise as they so choose.
It's like America's like, yeah, we are really great. You're right.
You're right. And I mean, that plays right into this era of the common man, that Jackson really is kind of a rags to riches type deal. I feel like this is where we get the American dream from. You can be whoever you want to be.
Do you think so?
No. But here's where it starts. The seeds are planted.
Planting the seeds. The legitimization of party. So you know how he said we only had a single party system? The first party system failed. And now we just have Uno party. Get it, like a Uno party, like a game part. Okay. Sorry. I thought that was going to come out better. So now we have our second party system, guys.
Woo! Whigs and Democrats.
Yeah, so the Jacksonian Democrats, nobody wants to be a Republican anymore, so that went bye-bye. Yeah, people are like, okay, honestly, the Republican Party stands for nothing, so let's go ahead and...
let's draw some lines.
Let's draw some lines. Let's get in our parties and let's party.
Right.
So they do, and the Jackson is going to split off, and he makes the Jacksonian Democrats. His quote, I think it's Martin Van Buren's quote, actually, that is, salvation is in one unified party. So they make the Jacksonian Democrats. Because honestly, Martin Van Buren, aside from his like mutton chop hairdo style thing, he's not really that interesting for us.
Also Panic of 1837.
And Panic, and I mean, he does attempt to get like an independent sub-treasury system. It's kind of cool, but he's not a Jackson. He's not like a super popular individual. So Jackson gets the title for the party. I mean, it's not literally the Jacksonian Democrats, but that's what we call them. And the Whigs only form because they just can't stand Jackson.
Right.
I mean, that is
King Jackson.
Only unifying force behind the Whigs is that they just hate this guy.
That's what brings us together. The enemy of the enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Whigs are literally forming opposition to Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
A Whig, if you will remember, party in Parliament.
Anti-monarchy.
So we viewed Andrew Jackson as a king. That information will be coming to you in class. And so we're like, no, opposition. Here it is.
Yeah.
But even though the Whigs were like, he's a king, everybody who was in support of Andrew Jackson was like, he is a man of the people. President of the common man, spoil system.
Yeah.
The spoil system is...
To the victor goes the spoils, meaning that when you lose everything. And so Jackson's like, I'm El Presidente now, and guess what? I don't like any of you people.
You're out.
so I'm going to put my friends in. Yeah, I know they can't read. I don't care.
It's fine.
They're the common man. And you know what? There's something respectable about that. It's dangerous, but it's respectable, right? Our Constitution doesn't say that you need an education. Nothing says that.
There are 0 education level requirements for any federal office.
You don't even have to be a judge to be on the Supreme Court.
No.
All right?
There are 0 formal requirements for Supreme Court.
0.
Justice. More on that in Gov next year. Holla. Okay. Did we even say what the spoil system was? Patronage?
To the victor goes the spoils, I did.
There
Take
you
it
go.
all.
Yeah. All right.
Close enough.
Close enough.
We got to talk about that in class, though.
Yeah,
That's
right.
so important.
That's explanation. Okay.
So, Calhoun. Now, there's Calhoun in the bottom corner, identifiable by his bizarre haircut and that, what I assume is a double chin. I don't know.
Inability to take a good picture.
Like,
you don't see any good
what's
pictures
why
of
is he
this guy.
squishing his head back? But so Calhoun, who is originally a senator from South Carolina, but will become the vice president under Andrew Jackson. Now he is man, this guy. Okay, so
It's all over the place.
that tariff of abomination comes back here. South is just like dying. They just can't handle it. Now, in reality, why are they dying down there? Because they messed up their soil.
Yeah.
They messed up their economy, and they don't have the science yet to get around that. Side note, they really do.
Yeah.
All
you have to do is plant some beans.
Plant some beans, plant some soy. They know this back in England. They've been doing it for quite some time. So
Yeah.
we just refuse to do it.
You are to blame.
But we don't want to blame our own actions. We're going to blame
the federal government.
the tariff of abominations, right?
Tariff of abominations.
So in 1828, we get that first Adams tariff. He does not win, so Jackson's president. But Jackson's like, guess what, folks? This is the law right now, so
stays.
we're not going to ignore it. We're just going to try to fix it eventually. And then that brings us
So
to the Webster-Hayne debate.
Yeah. Well, Calhoun. We're going to come back to nullification. Webster-Hayne debate. States' rights versus the power of the federal government. Daniel Webster, again, doesn't go away.
Daniel Webster he's a guy from Massachusetts,
Yes.
lawyer from Massachusetts.
Lawyer.
And he is all about the Union.
Yes, national government. And Hayne is going to be a states' rights guy. And this is the conversation, and this conversation is going to take us well into the next unit as well.
So much so.
Very aggressively so. But it brings up the whole compact theory and the idea that the states have more power than the federal government.
Well, they maintain
make up the federal government.
Right, that they volunteered to be part of an organization called the Union, and
that's going to take us back to Virginia Kentucky resolves, our first instance of nullification.
remember, it's called Doctrine of Interposition and Nullification. I love me some interposition.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff that the states have an obligation to step in between federal law and its application on the citizens. It's like, it's a protective mama bear when they think the federal government is doing something wrong. And then the next step is nullification. And this goes way, way back. I mean, we could go back to Stamp Act on this. You go Stamp Act. You go Virginia, Kentucky resolves. You do the tariff of abominations. It's amazing.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. And so here's the deal. Guys, this is amazing. So John C. Calhoun writes anonymously something called the South Carolina Exposition and Protest. He writes basically saying, like, we've got to stop, this law cannot continue. This law it's an abomination. Now, Andrew Jackson knows full well that his vice president has written this. And they're all at a party for Democrats one night, all right? And Andrew Jackson gets up and he gives a toast, and his toast is our federal union. Blah, 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 blah. He says something about it. What does he say? Our federal union, it's not most dear. Dang it.
Liberty something.
No. Dang it, guys, I forgot. Basically, he stands up and he's like, our federal union, it must be preserved. That's what he says. It must be preserved. And then he's staring straight in the eyeballs at John C. Calhoun
Yeah.
when he says it. And Calhoun stands up and he has his microphone in his hand and he goes, "The Union next to our liberty, most dear." Mic drop. Done.
Got him.
He's not going to be vice president anymore. He's going to stop.
No, he steps down, becomes
senator again
for South Carolina. Of course, South Carolina, where Hayne, back to the Webster-Hayne debate, is going to be their governor. So this beef between Calhoun and Jackson has ended with Calhoun being so upset at Jackson that he just is like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah.
So we know what side of the states' rights versus federal government he's on.
Yeah. Now, Jackson believes that nullification it amounts to treason, that his job as president is to enforce the law, no matter what, apparently. We'll see soon. And he's like, "You know what, South? I told you, you got to pay it." Now, we do have an attempt to kind of help resolve the tariff in 1832. It's not going to help enough, where the South basically is still like, "Yeah, we ain't going to pay it."
Yeah, Henry Clay, offers a compromise. Well, after that 1832 tariff bill, Henry Clay then is like, "Well, how about this?"
How about this?
And it's the compromise tariff, and it's like step down.
Eventually,
systems.
we'd go to pre-1828
Yes.
tariff rates.
And so.
And the South was like, "No,
Yeah.
not going to do it."
But then Andrew Jackson's like, "Okay, force bill."
Yeah, it's called the fourth bill because he is going to get on his horse. He is going to ride down to South Carolina,
And he's going to
he is
force
going
you.
to force you to pay the tax.
Yeah, military force.
We haven't seen
enforce
this
laws.
since George.
Yeah.
This is whiskey rebellion all over again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Throwing it back.
throwback
Like, you want to
Tuesdays.
start?
It's yeah,
I'll finish it.
I'll
Andrew
finish it.
Jackson out.
because he's still a general in
He's
his
still a general.
crazy brain. So at that point, South Carolina's like, we're going to pay some taxes, but also we're going to nullify your force bill.
Later.
What is wrong with them?
South Carolina, man. They're crazy.
They just want to secede.
Yeah, South Carolina at this point has had enough of America's crap. And was like, yeah, we're just going to work on this. John C. Calhoun,
Secession.
secession. We'll hit the pause button on that one because it doesn't happen yet.
No, yeah, he's still going to be in the Senate like on the day he dies, like wrapped
Yeah.
up in a flannel blanket, goes, "Secession." That's just what he does.
Oh, John C. Calhoun.
So, anyways.
Anyway, keep going. Okay.
Making life so much worse up
Yep.
here.
Things
Jackson
get
and
better.
how he deals with Native American tribes. Now, we have a group called the Five Civilized Tribes. They are Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole, Creek, Cherokee.
Wow. I only knew Cherokee and Seminole. After that, I was going to defer to.
They're all C's and then
Google.
Seminole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, there you go.
So, why do we call them civilized tribes? Because they have a constitution.
Mm-hmm.
They have similar. I feel like we forgot to talk about the market revolution.
That's next. Or that's in the next chapters.
No. Okay. Sorry, guys. So they have a constitution. They participate in the market revolution, which is basically they participate in trade in the United States. They are Christian.
Yes.
They own slaves.
Oh,
Yes.
did not know that.
It's crazy that's one of the identifiers for being civilized.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So those are sort of some of the identifiers for being part of the five, or being recognized as five civilized tribes. It doesn't matter because they're still going to get treated like garbage.
right. We still are like, they're savages.
It's so awful.
So we're going to talk a bit more about Indian removal in class.
Yeah.
Really, really crack this one open. But just information on that, the five civilized tribes, Indian removal.
We have a couple of different court cases, Worcester versus Georgia and Cherokee Nation versus Georgia. There are some gold reserves that are found on the territory because nobody wanted this area of Georgia, although it's like now Atlanta, basically. And all of a sudden Georgians are like, oh my gosh, we found some gold and you got to get out of here kind of mentality for Native Americans. And the Cherokee are like, yeah, we're not going to move. You don't have a right to tell us that. So we're going to get into what the court cases really tell us about more in class. And the result of that, which you can see here, is ultimately the Trail of Tears, which is
John Marshall, Supreme Court Chief Justice.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Trail of Tears.
We will definitely talk about him in this situation. Jackson.
So,
we'll talk about it in my class. I just, the cases and all. There's so many of them.
There's so many.
But
Trail of Tears, this is eventually the end result is they leave. And so here they are walking thousands of miles past the Mississippi and crying. And 1/8.
Well, and dying.
Yes, 1/8 of Native Americans die.
That's unbelievable.
That's ridiculous.
It really is unbelievable. Now they're going to be moved out to what we know today as Oklahoma. At the time, we called it Indian Territory, because people didn't really want to go out there, and really never want to go out there. My apologies to people in Oklahoma. I bet it's beautiful out there, but it's one area that people aren't going to go out to, being like, oh, we got to get out now too. They're just
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you just stay there. It's fine. Okay. So, all right, Jackson and the bank war. Also something we're going to talk about in class, but guess what? Jackson hates the bank. I don't know that that's shocking. He hates a centralized economic system.
Jackson really hates people telling him what to do.
Oh, he hates it so much.
He's got a problem with authority. If he's doing it, if he's like, guess what, Native Americans, you're out of here, he's going to enforce that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he does not like other people telling him what to do. Oh, man. I could say so many things.
So we have Biddle. That's a picture of Henry Clay.
That's fine. Oh, because of the bus.
Because it's his bus. It's his baby bus.
Why is this happening?
Why is Henry Clay there? All right. So Biddle's going to do his best to kind of keep the bank going until he decides, what's actually the best idea is to let it fail, and then everyone's going to hate Jackson.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen, though. Yeah. Does not happen.
He's like, here's a good plan. Everyone will hate Jackson if I do this. Opposite.
Yeah.
The bank comes up for recharter in 1832. Jackson vetoes it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's actually the first time that a president has vetoed something because he didn't like it and not because he felt it was unconstitutional. He was like, yeah, sure, this is constitutional, but alas, I don't like it, so
I don't like it. Not under my watch, is what he says.
Not under my watch.
That's a quote.
Hard and soft money, what we mean by that, hard money is going to be gold and silver, specie. Soft money, that is your paper money. Andrew Jackson, not a fan of paper money.
No.
Ironically,
but he should be.
Paper money.
But he is on paper money. It's very strange.
I paid sometimes with Andrew Jackson's.
Yeah, but he would hate that, guys. It's like an affront to Andrew Jackson.
Maybe that's why they did it, just to spite Andrew
like,
Jackson.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh, all right.
Whoever put him on the money is the Nicholas Biddle of our generation.
Yes, maybe it was Biddle. Biddle did it. Long term, finally got back to us.
All
right. So we're going to talk about that a lot in class because it's a lot to unpack, as Miss Knowles says. Why did we put this on?
I don't know. I thought we were supposed to delete it. Democrats and Whigs, we got two parties, party loyalty, party lines. Oh, we also have third parties.
What?
Yeah, we have the Know Nothing Party, which is a party solely against immigrants.
And they're called the Know Nothing because when you ask them, like, hey, do you know about this group? They go, I know nothing.
I know nothing.
It's super obvious that you're part of the group, sir.
Okay. We also have the Anti-Masons, who were a party against the establishment of secret societies in the government, per Masons.
It's like they knew the Illuminati.
This is the Illuminati.
Were part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, okay.
One of my kids' podcasts was on the Illuminati.
Well, it sounds like it was probably a really good listen. Oh, Lord. Here we go, guys. There's words on this slide, but we covered them up with this because we felt like this was
so much more important.
Like, come on. It's so good.
So this is indicative of a new type of political campaigning, and it is one where we are making fun of the other person. Negative ads. more mass appeal.
Look at that guy. He's aristocratic. He's drinking some champagne, wine, White House champagne.
When Martin Van Buren is drinking out of his own MVB glass, he's
Got
doing
that
just
pinky
fine.
out. Got that pinky going.
So classy. But alas, when he drinks the hard cider from the William Henry Harrison cup,
WHH.
not a fan.
Can't handle it, man.
Can't handle the taste.
Look at an ugly mug of log cabin hard cider.
Wait, what does this say? A beautiful goblet of White House champagne. Oh,
So bougie.
bougie, yeah, for sure.
My goodness.
So Martin Van Buren, aside from his glorious mutton chops and distaste for
For the
hard
people's
cider,
drink.
for the people, ugh, not a fan. So this is how we were campaigning. Now we were sending out pamphlets and things like that.
Make it. Yeah, don't be like one of the plebeians. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't be like
Not nice.
you need to be
hard
you need to be bougie and sassy. Let's do this.
Also, this campaign is where the phrase "let's get the ball rolling" came from.
What?
Yes, because in these towns there would be these big balls. I swear to God.
For what?
I swear to God. And it would have like all of the let me see if I can find a picture of it. Oh, son of a gun.
Like a big marble?
Like a big big ball, and it would have all of the like issues that the government was fighting for, like printed, like written on the ball, and then they would just roll this ball around through town. I promise. I'm gonna look it up.
This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Although I opened up my phone and it was the Andrew Jackson song we just played.
Yeah.
Get the ball rolling.
We should have some music while we pause like this, guys.
We couldn't just pause to the thing.
Okay. All right, we just validated. Yes, this is actually a true story.
I'll show you guys all in class.
It looks like a big bingo cage.
Yeah, where you like
Where
roll it.
you would kind of spin it.
Crazy.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so BTW, next election, Whigs back in power. And here's how they handle some things. The Caroline affair, an incident with Britain, where Britain is going to attack an American ship. We don't like that. Another issue that happens, the Creole affair, which is not on this
It's not on it. It's strange.
And it is 100 slaves take over a ship, and that is significant in increasing the fears in America of a slave revolt. Also, we have the Aristocrat and the Webster-Ashburton Treaty. These are going to be dealing with Maine. Yes, Maine, New York.
The Aristocrat
Yeah, that's Maine.
is Maine.
That's Maine. Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks were fighting. American lumberjacks and French lumberjacks were fighting. Like, this is our lumber. No, this is our lumber.
Man.
War of the lumberjacks. From that, we have the Webster-Ashburton Treaty, which is going to settle some boundary disputes between Canada and
It's Canada and the United States, but it's
Yes.
I think maybe your book. I don't know that it does this. It does deal with Maine to an extent.
Yes.
But it also tells the British agree to stop interfering with American ships, which
Yes.
we've been asking since the Revolution, and also deals with. Am I getting ahead of myself?
With what?
It decides on a border over in whatchamacallit, on the West Coast as well.
That is something else.
Dang it.
It's not the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. It is something else.
Starts with a B. More to come on that, guys.
Pause here.
We'll pause on that.
All right.
All right, I think this may be it.
Yes, that would be it. Yep.
So goodbye, farewell. This is it, guys. All right.
It was lovely chatting with you.
Always lovely.
See you next time.
Bye.